Okay, so once I graduated the treatment center in Chanhassen, before I got out of there, my parents came and we had a meeting with the counselor, and um, my parents said basically, if you can continue this behavior, you can't live with us, not under this roof. We're not going to go through that again. And so they said, we're going to send you to, it's called the Carver County Group Home, which was on Highway 5 and 41, uh, just east of that treatment center, about probably 2.5 miles on Highway 5. Yeah. And so I went there and I was staying there. And I just, because I was going to high school in Watertown. And so Chaska is about 4 miles on Highway 41. Uh, yeah, it'd be south of there, I think. Yeah. So I would catch a bus and I went to Chaska, the alternative part of the school, because all this time doing all this stuff, I had fallen behind on my high school stuff, and so I was behind. And so I went to the alternative part of this. They have an alternative section, and I quit school. Well, and that was one thing that the group home said. Basically, they said, "Look, well, no, this is what they said. They said you got to go to school to stay here. To stay here, for one thing, you got to go to school." And so when I quit school in 10th grade, and they said, Tom, all we asked you to do was to stay in school. You quit school, so now you have to leave. And so I had a buddy that uh, uh, he was like, well, he lived with another guy, and it was a 3 bedroom apartment. So he said, look, you want to rent this room? I talked to my buddy, and he said it's no problem. So we came up with this amount. And so what I did was I got a part-time job. I was working for a daily labor place, and at that time, minimum wage was $3.25 an hour. So I can remember I could pay my rent or I could buy food, but I couldn't do both. And so I was really struggling. And so what happened was my adopted parents, my dad's brother, Bill, my uncle Bill, had made a career in the Navy as an electrician's mate, and actually had retired from the Navy, and they had paid for his schooling to go to school on electrician, and he became a professor or something like that. Anyway, it worked out really well for him. So I just called up my mom and I said, "Look, and that's what he told me. He said, Tom, look, if you ever want to see the world, join the Navy, get on a ship, and they'll take you to all they'll take you all over the world, and they'll feed you, they'll take care of you, you have a place to stay." And so I just told my mom, I said, "Look, I'm thinking about what Uncle Bill said, you know." And so at that time, my mom knew that that was the best thing for me. So she just basically, took the ball and ran with it. And she made all the appointments because you have to have a pre-test, which was downtown Minneapolis. And then she got this book it's a book to study for the pre-test, and she made me study, And I think I got a better score because of her. Anyway, so I went to the recruiter, and the Navy recruiter said, "We can't take you without a GED. You quit school. You don't have a high school diploma. We can't accept you without a GED." And there's an Army recruiter right there, right next to this Navy recruiter, and he just jumped up and he said, "Hey, hey, buddy, we'll take you. Come on over here. Come talk to me. We'll take you without a GED." And so I think that angered the Navy recruiter. And so he said, "Hey, look, Tom, I got a proposition for you." He said, "I know a place where they give these GED tests daily." And I think at that time they were $36. I can't remember. But he said, "What I'll do is I'll pay for the test and I'll even buy you lunch. If you want to go do this tomorrow, let's do this." And I was like, "All right, sure, let's do this. And so because I was fresh out of school, I took the tests in one day. There's, I think, 7 or 8 of them that you take, math, English. Anyway, And I passed them. And so then I was able to get in the Navy. And then from there, you go down. Once I was able to do that, then you get sworn in downtown Minneapolis at the military building down there. And then they give you your, we had to wait for a long time after we got sworn in because they got to process your orders and stuff. And so what they do is they give you a train ticket to Chicago, and Illinois. Chicago, Illinois is just 60 miles south of Chicago, and that's where the Great Lakes Boot Camp is. And so, uh, oh yeah, I mean Great Lakes, Illinois. I don't mean Chicago, Illinois, but yeah, Great Lakes, Illinois. That's where the boot camp is, and I was there for during the winter time. And it's funny because when we were in where we catch the train was in St. Paul, so we caught a bus down there. But one of the guys' brother met us down there with a bottle of vodka, and he's like, "Here, cheers, and then he gave us the bottle because we kind of drank around and had another round, and then he's like, well, here, just keep the bottle, congratulations. And we got on the bus, and I forget, I think we went to the thing and got some mix, some orange juice, and we just drank the bottle, and because we had a sleeper, they paid for a sleeper, so drank the bottle, we just went to sleep, and in the morning got up, and we were in Chicago, and I forget if we caught a bus from there, anyway, but we ended up going to the boot camp, and then we were there for 3 months. Then from there, um, I was I asked to be a plane captain, and a plane captain is like how you service a truck. We service jet in the same way, give it oil, hydraulic fluid, other things too. But from Great Lakes, Illinois, I went to Oceana, Virginia for plane captain school, and also to Norfolk, Virginia for firefighting school. And then from there, I went to San Diego, NAS Miramar, San Diego. That was my duty station. That was where the Top Gun movie was made with Tom Cruise, Fighter Town USA. Uh, yeah, that was the beginning of my military career. I was stationed in San Diego, and then I was on the Coral Sea CV-43. It was aircraft carrier. I worked in the flight deck of the CV-40 of the Coral Sea. And I was stationed in Oakland. So we would go on 10-month cruises in the Indian Ocean, the Westpac. So we'd be part of a battle, aircraft carrier, destroyer. I can't remember all the rest of the ships, but we'd all go, and for 10 months we'd be gone. In the Indian Ocean, we went to Hawaii, the Philippines, Hong Kong, Singapore, Thailand, Japan. Um, I worked on the flight deck. It's a very dangerous job. My master chief was killed on the last cruise I was on, and he was hit by jet blast, which threw him into another plane and it crushed all his internal organs. And he was going to retire in 3 months for his pension, and he never made it. And in his will, he requested to be buried at sea. So we buried him at sea. We got in our, it was just summertime, so we got in our dress whites, and we all sit on the edge of the fantail, and they chucked him overboard. And I don't know if you know anything about those military silver coffins, but they're hermetically sealed. And so what happened was he floated. And so the officers were all standing in the circle and they were scratching their heads. What do we do? See, we don't bury people every day. So, in hindsight, yeah, pretty obvious. But, and you can't pull them back out. It's going to be like an unburial. So they got a Marine out there with a 50 caliber machine gun. He shot 3 holes in my Master Chief's coffin. And that's when my Master Chief sunk. But I look at it as his 3-gun salute. But, yeah, I'm glad that I joined the military because it had a big effect on my work ethic, and I learned discipline. I couldn't focus as a child, but the military they make you listen. You don't have a choice, or they'll make your life hell. Anyway, but yeah, so I needed that at that point because I was buck wild and my parents couldn't control me. I wouldn't listen to them. And I needed that at that time, and I'm glad I got that type of discipline. It changed my life, Yeah, thank you.